Hey everyone, it's Michael Goosebumps fan. I hope you're doing well today. I have a review here for episode 4 of the Goosebumps 2023 remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. It came out about 2 weeks ago on October 13th, 2023. They dropped the first 5 episodes, as many of you know. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get to each review for the episodes, but as you know, I'm not thrilled with the show. I'm also in a place where in my life, I'm trying to move right now. My wife and I are trying to get to this new house that I'm recording in right now and get a lot of things done. The weekend's kind of busy and crazy and whatever. But I wanted to go ahead and make time for this and the Q&A announcement video I'm going to put up immediately after this video, so hopefully you tune into that too if you want to do a Q&A with yours truly for 4,000 subs. Thank you guys again for showing up here, for subbing, for watching, for just being here in general. I appreciate all of you. Anyway, episode 4 of the Goosebumps 2023 show is called Go Eat Worms, and like many of my friends have said in their videos, when this was revealed for each of the titles of the episodes a while back, maybe a month before the show dropped, many of us were rubbed the wrong way with the idea of Go Eat Worms being adapted. Now, I don't hate Go Eat Worms, the book or the original episode of the show, because it's got some charm to it. It has some fun to it. I personally don't like worms. My wife is terrified of worms, so it kind of makes it fun to mess with her about worms. And ironically, she's the one who bought me that particular book in a weird, funny memoriam of how she loves that monster, I guess. Worms are not scary to most people. So many people were thinking, why of all of the monsters in the Goosebumps universe and franchise series, whatever, why of all things would you take that and adapt it to the TV show? Well, I'm here to tell you. I watched this, of course, the day after these dropped on October 13th. On October 14th, I saw it, and I can very much verify what many of my friends said in the community, like Goosebumps Completionist, BD Horror, many folks out there, that I personally think this is the best of the first 5 episodes that were dropped. Currently, after episode 6 about Slappy dropped, I think this is probably the second best episode of any of them this season, and I never thought I would have said that, because the other monsters have included so far the Haunted Mask, which got butchered, the Cuckoo Clock of Doom, which got butchered, the Say Cheese and Die camera, which was okay. Actually, the camera, I don't think they really did anything insulting to the fan base with. But this episode, I would say, is the most entertaining, but it also has many elements that I'm, once again, approaching from the respect of why would that be in a Goosebumps show? Or why would we focus so heavily on this over here or that over there? That's just my personal opinion with the show. Once again, if you like the show, I'm glad you're having a good time. I really am. But if you're a scumbag and just going to come and attack me for my opinions, just go away. You know, I'm going to be honest with people. I'm not going to be the type of person who just accepts everything that has Goosebumps' name on it. So there you go, my general review. Let me get to more details. This time around, we follow a fellow who we were introduced to on the first episode of the show named Lucas. And Lucas, in the first time we ever meet him in the first episode, he rides like a skateboard down the roof of his house, falls down in front of the team of friends, I guess it was mainly just James and Isaiah at the time, and breaks a tooth right out of his mouth. Yeah. So Lucas apparently has some mild form of brain damage of some sort. He does a lot of stupid things like BMX, dirt biking types of stuff. Not that that's stupid, but I'm saying a lot of stupid techniques using those methods. Like he might do a very dangerous dirt bike trail and potentially put himself in a situation that he could get killed. He tries to do stunts and different things like that, and he doesn't really think all that well. But I do like Lucas. I've said many times on the show, I'm very neutral about pretty much everybody in the show, including Justin Long, who I love quite a bit. Big fan of Jeepers Creepers, big fan of some of his other art house type projects too. And I just feel like they've misused everybody for the show. This young man here reminds me so much of what Dylan O'Brien was introduced to me as from the Teen Wolf TV show as the character Styles. I feel like if anybody from this show will have a chance to go anywhere in the future of, hopefully not Hollywood, but hopefully just in general movies and some kind of entertainment in general, it's probably going to be this guy. I feel like he's genuinely a good actor. He's trying his best to make Lucas likable, but not in a quippy MCU way that I've complained about with every character on the show up to this point when this episode dropped. Lucas is just a guy that doesn't think well. He reminds me of kind of the goofy, labeled stupid characters in the original Goosebumps books. When you read them, every once in a while you get a character who just doesn't think, and who just kind of does goofy things because of the sake of being a goofy character in a children's silly horror story. Sometimes these are comedy stories, but this is more of a kind of a mixture of the two, matter of fact. The pacing was improved so much on this episode. It feels like it has a better flow, a better momentum, and Lucas being a more likable character than pretty much everybody that's been on the show so far to this point has been fun. I liked him here. So far from this episode onward, for episode 5 and 6, when he shows up, I like this guy. This actor is good. But he doesn't have the best material to really work with to make something really memorable. The Go Eat Worms aspect is, it's a bit much. The Go Eat Worms were kind of modified too, but I don't hate what they did with the worms here. They have the worms almost kind of possessing people. And I know that sounds weird, but it's kind of like if somebody eats a worm, they kind of go in this weird direction with that. I think it was the end of episode 3 where Justin Long ate some worms. I don't think I mentioned that in my video, but they were straight out CGI and they look like trash, just like most of the CGI in this show. This episode, though, I gotta tell you, if any of the CGI actually surprised me with how decent it was this episode. The worms look cool. There's this big action sequence at the end of the episode itself that I thought was really, really solid. Not great, but solid. Solid for what this show was. If there's anything that really ruins this episode for me, once again, it's because the episodes are too long. This is like a 40, 45-minute episode, whatever. It doesn't need to be. It just doesn't need to be. The weird twist on the worms possessing people, like they almost either force you to eat them or you just do it. You know, it's kind of weird. I don't know how much I like that. I don't know how much I would defend that, even though I'm not insulted by it the way I am about the Haunted Mask in this show, or the Cuckoo Clock of Doom, for example, or even Slappy at this point. But this is a decent episode, but I don't like it. I don't love it. It's just fine. For a show that has been horrible, awful, in every bit of the execution up to this point, basically, aside from cinematography, maybe some of the directing, the shooting locations, aside from those things being positive, this is a great example of an episode that tried to up everything up a little bit more, whether it be the CGI, the acting, whatever, and it only slightly manages to pull that off. This is a watchable episode. I think most people, when the first episodes dropped of this show, the first 5 in that first night on October 13th, most people, again, seem to agree that this was the best of the bunch. That doesn't mean it's good. You know what I mean? I agree with everybody who says that, but I just don't like this episode, nor would I go out of my way to defend it so much. The dirt bike chase scene in this and the finale that I basically referred to a moment ago was fantastic. Genuinely kind of fun, you know? But most of the episode, what I have to complain about is this storyline about, I believe the girl's name is Margot, the daughter of like the school counselor that for some reason we keep focusing on so much. There's a lot of focus on how she and Lucas bond because Lucas's mom, that all of my friends have a crush on, is basically cheating, or not cheating, she's sleeping with the counselor guy, Margot's dad, I think is the girl's name. She is sleeping with him, but he's still married. This isn't a Goosebumps show. This is, once again, the relationship drama thing nobody wanted with Goosebumps. Not a hardcore fan, not a normie fan, not a single person wanted to go into Goosebumps, even mildly knowing what Goosebumps was. Even a casual fan would not go into this show originally, expecting relationship teen CW crap. But now we're getting people in their 50s relationship stuff. And when I say we're talking about the cheating thing, it's not just like, oh, somebody finds out something, sees, 2 people kiss. No, we're getting like scenes of these guys getting out of the bed together. And not like doing the act, if you know what I mean, but like getting out of the bed together. And I'm like, dude, this is Goosebumps. Like this show, I swear to God, my friends and I have talked about this numerous times so far. I swear to you, I think the show is written by AI. Because all of the timing of when this was produced, when it was finished, right before the writer strike thing kicked in, I swear that this happened with this show. If it did not, it would immensely surprise me. But it just, all of this relationship crap, whether it be with the teens or now the adults, I just could not possibly care less about that. I could not possibly tell you how misplaced that seems in this show. If anything verifies that, I swear that this was either an AI script or a script for something else that was going to be your typical bland TV teenager show for MTV that got adapted into Goosebumps and then bought by Disney. If anything proved it was this episode to me, I swear to you, just because of the weird old people cheating storyline thing. And it goes places, I guess, especially in episode 5, which again feels more like a filler episode, back to formula of being bad like episodes 1 through 3. But this is the focus a lot of the time on the episode. And then Lucas and Margot, or whatever her name is, finding out that the parents are, in this relationship, and that now they could be like stepbrother, stepsister. They don't even do it in a fun way. Like, they don't even make jokes that would be fun in this situation. To be fair, this episode has less jokes in it than the previous episodes, which is pretty good. No political stuff like they had in the first couple of episodes, so that's nice too. But it just really doesn't go anywhere by the end of the episode that I really care about. I like Lucas. Again, that's about it. Margot, I couldn't care about. Her family, her dad, her mom, I couldn't care about them. Lucas's mom, I couldn't care about it, even though all of my friends are obsessed with her, especially BD Horror. It makes me laugh every time he talks about it. The writing is just... It is what it is. At least Lucas is fun. At least this actor has some kind of talent to him that he can do something with this and make even a bad script that he was given into something fairly enjoyable to a degree. The directing, the cinematography, and all of that are fine too this time around. And again, the action sequence kind of saves this episode. The music, if I remember, was okay here. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was just okay. More well utilized than the previous episodes, I would say, aside from the Nine Inch Nails song in episode 2 that I enjoyed. I think that was really all I had to talk about with this. I wish there was so less focus on the relationship crap amongst teenagers, old people, whatever, and just not even relationship, just focuses on monsters attacking teens or kids. I don't care who they attack, I just want to see monsters attack people. That's what Goosebumps is, that's what made it fun. The comedic aspects, the sillier aspects, and the scary aspects are what make Goosebumps fun to watch. This show has almost none of it. It really does. This has the fun action stuff, but outside of that, you don't have much more that you can really bond with, or really, I would say, even be memorable, for that matter, which is, to me, a bummer, because I wanted to love this show so much, and it just has not pulled off anything for me personally. With that being said, though, that's all I have to say about episode 4 of the Goosebumps 2023 reboot, remake. I don't even want to call it an adaptation, because it's not even that. But if I had to rate it on a 5-star basis, I think I'd give the episode like a 2 out of 5 stars. It's mildly entertaining. It has some really fantastic things in it, like the action scene, but most of it is so focused on talking and talking and talking that it's not that this episode is boring, the pacing is better, but it's not entertaining either, most of the time. So, all that being said, I'd love to hear what you all have to say about the Go Eat Worms episode down in the comment section down below. Is this the only monster that I really think will have any justification by the end of the series? It's possibly so, I would say, because the worms have not been insulting with the changes they've made to them, the way a lot of things are. Not the biggest fan of it, but you know what I mean, like I said. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. Thank you for tuning in for episode 4's review. Hopefully you'll tune in for the episode 5 and 6 and probably 7 reviews whenever I can get that done this week. It's going to be a busy week, just so you know. But I'm going to try my best to do what I can, and I want to thank you again for being here. Tune in for the next video upload immediately after this, talking about the Q&A that I'm going to do very soon. Anyway, thank you all, guys. God bless you all, and goodbye.